All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone that do root well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, to the hopeful elect in 1/3. And Adon Ratazah, this lesson will be edifying as well as exhorting to the sincere sheep of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and the Abanawa Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Forgive me the inspiration to do this lesson. And as the title reads, do you know your marks? All right. And, the Spirit still just pressed on me, okay, to speak on this in particular prophecy, okay, pertaining to the MOTB. Yes, another lesson pertaining to the mark of the beast. Okay, another one. So Thawadiya Bashim Shai Bashim Rakakwadash for that. And what I want to do is I just want to go into, I think I'm going to use 3 different examples of the word mark that's found in the scriptures. I'm going to use one that's found in the Old Testament, and then I'm going to use 2 that are found in the New Testament to show you just because it says mark, okay, it doesn't mean always the same thing, all right? One mark, spiritual, another mark, physical. You have to know your marks. If not, the simple believeth every word. You have to study to show yourself approved, okay? And matter of fact, let me get that real quick. So let's go into this. I don't believe this is going to be a long lesson, but I do personally believe that, lessons like these are very important, especially with the times that we are in. You can see society changing drastically fast towards the, as the scriptures would say, okay, as the brother, I can't remember what brother it was or an elder, he said pretty much society is mimicking what the Bible told us, all right, and we're seeing that. All right, so this is 2 Timothy 2:14. It says, of these things, put them in remembrance, charging them before the Lord that they strive not about words to no profit, but to the subverting of the hearers. Study to shew thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Okay, so you have to be able to rightly divide the word of truth, because if not, you're going to just be simple. You're just going to be listening to whatever the teacher is saying when you don't know, is this a false prophet? Is this man sent by Yahweh Bashim Shai? Can I believe every word? Because you have a lot of camps, chiefly starting with IUIC, that is leading the people to err. Remember, it says the leaders of this people cause them to err, and we're seeing it. All right, and 2 major things. 2 major things that we're seeing, that's with the name. Okay, I got to mention the name first, the name, all right, and prophecy pertaining to the mark. So let's go into it. Do you know your marks? So I noticed they like to go to Ezekiel 9, okay, and ultimately, if they can woo you, if they can bewitch you by simply just doing this, like, watch, I'll do this. Let's just put mark. If all they got to do is just put this in, that's funny. Okay, that came right up. Let me see what else. Let me see if I can actually get Mark in here without the actual book of Mark. Okay, it didn't come up. How else could I do that? Let's try it this way. I just want to see if all they got to do is just put anything in the Bible that has Mark in it. All right, outside of the book of Mark. Hey man, you're very simple. Okay, so it's not even letting me. I wanted to. I got a Strong's concordance in my camp bag, and I could just put the word mark in and see everything that pops up. So let's just keep it. Let's keep the task on hand. Okay. So they use this scripture right here. All right. Look at this. Ezekiel 9:4. And the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, said unto the angel, go through the midst of the city. See, in context, you can already tell this is spiritual. Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark. Okay? And set a mark. So all they got to do now, let me see what this is. Let me see if this will give me something else. Uh-oh. Hope the Wi-Fi ain't. Tripping. Prince of the Air. Okay, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Shai. Okay, see? So if I just put Mark, then I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you how, look, see, Mark. I'm going to show you how simple these false prophets are. And they need a simple congregation to make this work. You know, they truly need a simple ass congregation to really pull this off. And you know who else did this? The so-called Watchmen for Israel. They did this as well. They just went through and found any time it said Mark and try to use that to prove their point. Or was it beast? It was beast. Yes, they used anytime it said beast, they were trying to break down Revelations 13:1. Simple, very simple. You got to be a very simple, slow, unspiritually guided vessel to fall for that tricks. Okay, so right here, look, you got Mark right here. So look, he causes. So in this instant, in Ezekiel 9, it says the Lord told the angel to set a mark. So that's spiritual. But in this context, he, referring to Esau, he's going to cause people to receive a mark as well. But that mark is going to be physical. Esau can't give you a spiritual mark. So the fact that they would use a precept like that to try to prove their point proves exactly that. Those are evil men. All right. You got to know your marks. You out there. All right. This is the time that we're in. Let me get this. It's just been heavy on my spirit, just telling the sheep. Okay. Beware of these false men. But ultimately, the Lord's got to be dealing with you. All right. To receive this. Now, let me get this real quick and believe it's Philippians 2:12. Is it right in my face? Let me see. Where is it? That Philemon? Okay. Philippians 2. I get this real quick. Philippians 2:12, it says, wherefore, my beloved, wherefore the elect, wherefore the predestinated, as ye have always obeyed. Okay, this is what we're doing. We're obeying to the best of our ability constantly. All right, to the message, to what we're required to be doing. Okay, even the believers, you that just may not be doing lessons, but you believe on this. Well, you should not just be in the world lollygagging, playing and bullshitting, and then hurry up, let me fix my tie and shirt because I'm watching a video. You know, that's like a Jake in the world. Don't smoke weed in this room because Jesus' picture's on the wall. No, you better be obeying in the spirit, man, because the Lord's watching all of us right now. Okay. Not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence. This is what Apostle Paul is conveying to the beloved brothers in Philippi. All right. The brothers, the church, the body. Okay. Men, women, children. Okay. He's telling you, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Exactly. Okay. So this is a very serious thing. And for guys to take this prophecy light, okay, and to break it down falsely, you know, that's hey, that's a death penalty. Okay. So you're playing with fire. But this is also a people that provokes the Lord to anger. So you better hope you're not a part of that. All right. You better hope you ain't provoking the Lord to anger, because to really believe that the mark is just sin is a simple ass bird brained logic, man. You know, I'm getting a little pissed just thinking about it. Like, man. Anyways, edification. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go back. I know I made a couple points within points. All right. So look, in context, I'm going to these different marks. Then I got this mark up, and I'm going to get you one more mark. So excuse me, I'll put it all together. I'm a little long-winded. I apologize. Romans 16 and 15. You got Mark in Ezekiel 9. It is Thawa. Mark in Romans 16 and where is it? 17, which is Scarpeo. Okay. Then Mark in Revelations 13, which is Charagma. Okay. Charagma. All right. Trying to say it like how he does. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go here and we're going to go here. So we have three different precepts with the word mark in it. It's just like when you're breaking down the word world in John 3:16. It's the same thing. It's applicable. You apply it the same way. Wait a minute. So IUIC can go to John 3:16 to prove that that word world doesn't mean the world, but then they take the word mark and then they make it apply to something. Oh my God. I don't even want to wrap my head around it. So I'm just going to do this for you. Ezekiel 9 and 4 for the word mark. Let's put our Strongs on, okay? I'm going to put the Strongs on so we don't got to dig too deep on this one. It's just on my spirit to feed this to Yahushai's sheep. What did Yahushai tell Apostle Peter? Feed my lambs, feed my sheep. We're here to feed you. So when you go into this word mark, all right, in context, this is a spiritual mark. Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, where people before a place. So this is now, okay? Don't mean that this had to be in literal Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Okay, so when you click this word mark, let's see what it goes into. Boom, mark as a sign of exemption for judgment. So with that same logic, is Esau going to cause a mark that's going to give people exemption for judgment? On quite the contrary, when they receive that mark, that will be their indication and sign of literal judgment that's going to come upon them. Okay, so the mark in Ezekiel 9 is to be exempt from judgment. Then when you go to Revelations and you look up the word mark, okay, let me get it. Rev 13 and 16, and he causes. Who's the he here? The he here is Esau, physical, literal man. Who's the he in Ezekiel 9? Spiritual angel. And he causes all, both small and great, small meaning baby, child, infant, great, older, adult, rich and poor and free and bond to receive, deceive to receive a mark. What's this word mark mean? Does this word mark mean exemption from judgment? No, it doesn't. See, thing carved, sculpted, idolatrous, a mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand, a stamp, imprinted mark. See, completely look, scratch, etching, piercing, para, pierce through the idea of piercing. So this is physical. Stamp is physical. Imprinted mark is physical. A mark branded upon horses, that is physical. And now we're in a what? A digital world. It's digital. See, it's a digital world now. All right. So this mark that we're waiting for this prophecy to be fulfilled will be used for people to interact with society, smart cities. What is it? Surveillance, monitoring. What the hell is it? Smart means surveillance, monitoring. Let me get it for you. The word smart is actually an acronym. Okay. See that? This is still pressed on my spirit. So I can only do what's given to me. SMART acronym. Okay. Surveillance. Come on. AI is trash, man. AI is pissing me off. SMART acronym. Let me see. How do I put this in? Let me just do this. SMART. Okay. I'll do acronym, and let's just put surveillance. Forgive me for my spelling. Surveillance, monitoring. I know it's going to pick it up for me. Okay, right here. The acronym SMART, which also the word smart means painful. That's why they call you a smart ass. You're a pain in my ass. They want to make you smart. Okay? How are they going to make you smart? By painfully putting something inside of you physically. The acronym SMART originally stood for self-monitoring, okay, analyst, and reporting technology. Smart surveillance, see? Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Post misleading, link smart city concept, blah, 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 blah. You get it. This is the world we're in right now. Okay. This is the world we're in right now. So now let's go back. Physical. Now let's get this one. Now you got another word for mark, Romans, which it's funny. These three precepts literally can be used all together for us to warn you not only about this prophecy, but we're warning you about men that we have marked or scoped out to be aware of because they have a wrong doctrine. Romans 16 and 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, Akim, mark them. So wait a minute. How do we mark people? How does Esau mark people? And how do angels mark people? See? So 3 different precepts have 3 different contexts with 3 different meanings pertaining to this word mark. You have to know your marks. Now, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, mark them which cause division and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. See, we avoid them. We don't debate them. We don't go up and hang. We don't ask them. We don't say, why'd you get a 501c3? Why do you need the white man's paperwork for the ministry? We don't ask them that. We don't ask them that, okay? Now, when you go into this word mark, so we can give marks too, all right? And this word means, oh, let me get it. Scarpeo, scope them out. They're scope their ass out. Scarpeo, to look at, observe, to mark, to fix one's eyes upon. Yeah, I'm watching you. I'm watching your ass. That's what we're doing. We're watching you. And we watch them from the distance. Then we report what we see and we bring it back to the congregation because the Lord set us up as watchmen. So this is another form to watch. Okay? See this? To look, to take heed to thyself. See? So you have to know your marks. All right? Because if not, they're just going to go through and pull out any marks. I think they use one in Job. Where is it? Yeah, he uses this. Which one did he use? Mark me. They use, see, so what they'll do is they'll go to anywhere it says mark, and then they'll use that, and then they'll give that to the congregation, and the congregation sitting there like, wow. Oh my goodness, this is magnificent. Thank you for lying to us. See, they just keep giving you sweet things, you know. Let me see what we got here. Job 16:12, I was at ease, but he has broken me asunder. He has also taken me by my neck and shaken me to pieces and set me up for his mark. See? So that's what they'll do. Okay? They'll just take mark. All right? Look, see? Mark the perfect man. So how do you mark the perfect man? Is that physically? All right? Or it's mentally? Okay? Let me see what else I got in here. Look, I think they use this one, Psalms 130:3. I'm not sure if they use, I know they use something. I heard it the other day. But look, if thou, Lord, should mark iniquities, O Lord, who shall stand? See, this is what they do. All right, look there, but this is my point. So matter of fact, let's have fun with this. Let's go to this. Now, what's this word mark mean? I'm just curious. Does this mean, this don't mean tawa? Look, this don't mean tawa. See? So I just found another mark in the Old Testament, all right? But it doesn't mean exemption from judgment. It means to keep, to watch, observe, see? So you have to study to show yourself approved, because if not, they will get your ass, man, all right? So look at that, great example. So we just proved that not every word mark, even in the Old Testament, is the same meaning for mark in Ezekiel 9. Then we also went to the New Testament and proved that the word mark in the New Testament doesn't always mean the same thing either. This is us studying to show ourselves approved, also showing what? Diligence, okay? I had looked this word up, see? You can look up words, you got to understand the context. This is why it says here a little and there a little. But at the end of the day, if you're not set up to be Yahweh Shai's sheep, then you're not going to hear his voice. You're going to hear another, okay? If you're not set up to hear Yahweh Shai, then you're going to be set up to hear a false prophet, a false shepherd, a false leader, and they're going to cause you to err. They're going to bring you to death, okay? They're going to bring you to death. And let me get you that real quick. This is the words of Yahweh Shai. Let's go real quick to Luke 11:44, one of my favorites, okay? This is just a warning. We'll take the Strongs off now. Luke 11:44, but we will put red letter on, GMS red letter, okay? Luke 11:44, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are as graves which appear not, and the men that walk over them are not aware of them. So they're unclean, and they're ultimately going to be led into a ditch of destruction right along with their leaders. The blind leadeth the blind. You see? See that? Now, let's get this. 2 Corinthians 8:22, and we have set with them our brother, whom we have oftentimes proved diligent. So you have to prove diligence, okay? There's a standard that needs to be kept. There's an understanding that needs to be brought forth. And when one is not keeping that or having that, hey, we gotta ask questions, man. Okay. Now, real quick, let me just see with this. Let me see something. Acts 14:22. Okay, that's the Holy Spirit, because I heard Acts 14:22. Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yahweh Shai. The Wada Abanawi Yahweh Bashim Shai, Bashim Rakakodash. Acts 14:22. We'll start at 21. It says, and when they had preached the gospel, the good news, to that city, that's what we do. Every time we go out to camp, we're preaching to that city. But not everyone in the city is set up to hear. That's why even the Lord said, two of a family, one of a city, you know? It says, and had taught many, they returned again to Lystria and to Iconium and to Antioch, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. You got to continue in the faith. You got to continue to believe. You can't get tripped up or bugged out if a demon tries to try you, okay? It could try to say, the mark could be this, the name could be that, bleh, where that. This is why at the end of the day, it's all about faith, okay? So you got to remember that demons can even mess with you with the understanding of the doctrine. Remember, read Matthew 4. Yahushua had to combat Satan with precepts as Satan was given precepts too. All right. Demons know precepts too, but demons also know the name and tremble. Do you have the name? All right. And the name is Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. All right. Bahashem Rakakwadash. And it says, because we're told to baptize you in the name through the Holy Spirit. Well, ask IUIC why name baptizing you in the name. But they say we don't got the name. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, man, I speak as a man, but I just, man, I believe, man, the Lord is about to do something. You know, the Lord, because it's just, it's bad, man. The level of mockery, false prophecies, false shepherds, the day clubbing, the constant talking and vain babbling, you know. I hope things happen live on camera to these demons, man. Okay. Let me get this though. It says, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. That's why it's called the hour of temptation. But that's why Yahushua said he's going to keep us from that. See, when you really go into these precepts and really compare it to reality, like the best way I could put it is I was watching, I'm a lover of films, not just a film, but how it's made. Did the actor use improv? You know, was there a different way they were going to go, but then it led to this? So I'm really a lover of just the production and the script and then it coming together. I think that's a very beautiful artistic thing, just like this truth. So I was watching this TV. I was watching the making of this in particular TV show. It doesn't matter. But he made a statement. He said, when I read the script, what I read didn't seem impossible. But then when it came time for production or filming, he said, I couldn't see how I could do that now. So my point is, when you're reading the precepts, you need to visualize. Okay. What does Elder Apostle Gabar was telling you? You got the people perish without a vision. You got to visualize what you're reading. So visualize the hour of temptation, compare it to what they're saying it's just sin, and say, how's that going to happen? See, you got to you got to mentally read these precepts and then look out into the sunset and meditate how it's going to play out. And when you do, you can't see the breakdown that these guys are given. And they're giving you a private interpretation when the scriptures tell you there is no private interpretation. So what's going on? What Jake say in New York? What's goody? Shit don't make sense. But you know why? Because they sold out, so it makes them dollars. I think it's 2 Peter 1:22. That flashed before my eyes. Let me see. Boom. It says, 2 Peter 1:19, we have also a more sure word of prophecy. We have a sure word of prophecy. We have such a sure word of prophecy that we're constantly going into it. We're just keep beating it in. This is how sure we are. I've watched guys sit there. I recorded them too. We keep receipts. Chief Ephraim, he's like, well, it could be, we will be. No, okay. I don't want to be. You imagine going for a job. Imagine rent's due. Okay. And then you go for a job and they, we're going to look at this again. You be like, oh, I got to get out of here. I got to go where I know I'm good. See? So when you have people that are not speaking with authority, then that means they're not authorized. Okay. So that means the Lord's not dealing with them. We are speaking with authority like Lord Yahushua did. Okay. So we have a more sure word of prophecy. We're standing there. We're standing there bold with it. What? Say what it say. Try to tell us what it ain't. Try to fix your vain ass face and try to lie, man. You know. And it says, "Whereunto ye do well that ye take heed." So you taking heed do well as well. This is why Yahweh Shai said, I pray not for the world, but for them. And then he also said, I don't only pray for just them, but them that believe on their word. See? And it says, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place. So we're the light through the Lord shining in a dark place. Darkness is, IUIC, darkness is, right? They're dark over there. That's why they overcompensate carnally, okay? Like a barracuda. I always use that analogy. How do you catch a barracuda? Don't I say we're supposed to be fishers of men? You catch barracuda with shiny things, okay? You want to catch a carnally, worldly Jake? Shine on his ass, okay? And one thing that I noticed when it comes to the congregation of IUIC, they are nothing more than a black family Christian group, okay? I see a lot of young little girls. They're always posted on their Instagrams and their little modest purple apparel, but they're in the car, in the back seat with their little sister, who you think's driving. So they're just going with mommy and daddy to church again. It's just church. That's all it is. And it ain't the right church. And they ain't even calling out the right message unto you, because that's what church means. Call out. They ain't even calling out to you, man. Calling out some bullshit. I'm happy. I'm happy for this. I'm happy this is about to come to pass, man. It's going to be so beautiful to hear what they're going to say. Just like Elder Pastor always says, soon as this thing's happen, I'm going to refresh the page. I want to hear what IUIC got to say. I want to hear what Wi-Fi got to say, BOW got to say. I want to hear what Hebrew Israelite notable leaders and so-called teachers got to say in that day. That's going to be fun. We're going to say, come on, look at this. Come on, let's all watch this together. You know, it says, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts or mind, knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation. And you can't trust someone that changes like the moon. And since I've been in, and I'm a very young brother, okay, spiritually, I'm only like, I think 8 years old. All right, 8, 9, that don't even matter. But I'm acknowledging that I'm young, okay, in this walk, okay. I'm young in this walk, but since I've been here, since I've been around, right, the Lord allow me, and I pray to endure to you. I truly pray that I'm of that number. I truly pray I'm of that number, man. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, if you're not being humble and fearing, you know, you got to check yourself, man, because yes, we know it's about being Israelites, but, you know, if you ain't of the elect, man, you ain't making it on the first go around, you know. But since I've been in, okay, I've heard their breakdown for this change, you know, more than 3-4 times, man, 5 times. Embargoes, sin, it's just change. And no one's upset, you know, no one's upset. No one's standing up, but the Lord is putting the spirit on us to stand up, you know, and it's some bullshit for real. False prophets are evil, man. All right. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scriptures of any private interpretation, but all these camps got their own private interpretation. So what's up with that? But you want to talk about gather yourselves together. How the hell can we gather ourselves together with people that got different private interpretations? That don't even make sense. Damn. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of Yahweh spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit. Exactly. So this is all through the inspiration of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay, shit. I just got out the fucking plantation, man. I'm in the big house. Okay, body was tired. They say, man, you know, you can just chill. You can just chill. You just sit down. Nah, man, I gotta pray. So Tawadi Bashim Shai Bashim Kakwadash, you know, for giving me the inspiration to do this lesson, to be used to feed and warn his sheep. All right. So now from there, we got that point. We made this point. We got this. Okay, I'm just backtracking. Bear with me. Okay, yes. Did I finish this? One more time. 2 Corinthians 8 and 22. 2 Corinthians 8:22, right? It says, and when ye have sent, and we have sent with them our brother, our Akia, right? Whom we have oft times proved diligent in many things, but now much more diligent upon the great confidence which I have in you. So this thing is about being diligent. Okay, this thing is about seeking your own salvation. This thing's about obeying and being in order. And then you got other Jakes that'll do that, but for the wrong leaders, for the wrong teachers. Excuse me. Real quick, let me get this precept. The water. GMS Virgin Island Straight Gate. And that's what this walk is. It's a straight gate. 1 Timothy 4:16. Take heed unto thyself. Take heed unto thyself. Are you taking heed unto yourself? and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. Wow, that's powerful. Okay, that's powerful. See? So the doctrine is vital, very important. Understanding. Remember, wisdom and knowledge will be your stability. So if you don't have wisdom and then you don't have knowledge of prophecy, or in particular prophecy, and what's getting ready to happen, you're done. You're going to drown, because we're all going to have to step out on that water. Didn't Neo have to take the leap of faith? We're all going to have to step out on that water. Okay? Okay? So this thing is serious, man. So yeah, I'm going to end it there. The point was made. So I just want to say in closing, there's different definitions for the word mark. Okay? Even like when you look at the English language, you're right-handed. He wasn't right. Take a right. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta be scholarly, man. You gotta put your thinking caps on. All right. There's a lot of Jakes that are gonna be deceived. So just remember the simplicity of Yahushai and hold on to that garment. Hold on to that, because all these other guys, man, they're gonna drown, and we're gonna watch them. We're gonna watch them drown. You see what's going on already? The so-called shepherds are getting smitten, and look how they acting, trying to flee, go here, act like it ain't true. Then you got simple sheep trying to make it's okay. It's okay, Birdie. It's okay. Hell nah, this shit ain't okay, man. This is some BS. And we're in the spirit to call it all out. Okay? So I just want to do that quick lesson. Do you know your marks? So we just went into it. I truly pray that this lesson was edifying, enlightening. I also pray it was comforting to Yahushai's sheep. Okay? So in that, I'm going to say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect. With that being said, shalom.